Okay, so let's talk about the Google Gemini CLI. But I want you to know, this isn't just about writing code a little bit faster. It's about fundamentally changing how we build software and doing it right from the command line. What we're looking at here isn't just another code generator. It's an AI agent. Think of it as a genuine partner for your entire development workflow. And it really all starts with this number right here, 1 million. That is the token context window for the Gemini 1.5 Pro model that's powering this thing. So what does that actually mean for you? It means it can look at and understand your entire code base, not just a little snippet or a single file. It sees the whole picture, which you can imagine is an absolute game changer for making smart, context-aware changes. And maybe the most surprising part of all of this? The free tier is just incredibly generous. You get 1,000 requests per day to one of Google's most powerful models, and it's completely free. This puts a truly professional-grade AI tool into the hands of pretty much every developer out there. Now, to really get what makes Gemini CLI so special, you have to understand this one key difference. A chatbot, well, it's kind of like a consultant. You ask it for advice, it gives you an answer. But an agent is a collaborator. It's a leap way beyond simple code completion. See, an agent doesn't just give you suggestions. It actively reads your files. It writes new code. It runs terminal commands. And it even helps you debug. It actually takes action. So you're probably wondering, all right, how do I get this powerhouse on my machine? Well, believe it or not, you can be up and running in about 60 seconds. Seriously. As long as you have Node.js installed on your system, it's just a single npm command to get the package. That's step one. Then, when you run it for the very first time, you just choose the Login with Google option, and that's it. You're authenticated and instantly connected to that massive free tier we were just talking about. Okay, so you've got it installed. Now, using a tool this powerful really does require a bit of a new mindset. You can't just throw random prompts at it and hope for the best. To get really great results, you need a structured workflow, kind of like a playbook for building with your new AI partner. And that core workflow, it's a really simple but incredibly effective loop. Plan, build, and then iterate. This cycle makes sure that you and the agent are always on the same page, building methodically towards your final goal. The plan phase is, without a doubt, the most critical part of this whole thing. You start by giving the agent a high-level goal, maybe in a product requirements document or even just a simple plan.md file. And you got to notice the key instruction in this first prompt. Do not write any code yet. You're asking the agent to create a blueprint, a step-by-step plan before a single line of code gets written. So once you've reviewed the plan and you've given it the green light, you enter the build phase. And this is where your role shifts. You become the senior developer, the architect. You instruct the agent to execute that plan one step at a time, guiding and approving its work as it thinks, plans, and then takes action. And this right here, this is the iterate phase in action. Because let's be real, things are going to go wrong. You're going to get errors. But instead of spending hours hunting for a bug, you just feed the error message right back to the agent and tell it to fix the problem. It becomes this true collaborative debugging session. All right, so now that we've got the core workflow down, let's power up with a few pro tips that'll take your skills to the next level. As your session gets longer and longer, the conversation history, the context, can get pretty cluttered. So to keep the agent focused and the responses fast, you can use the /compress command. This basically tells it to summarize the entire conversation, keeping all the important stuff without the noise. Or, hey, if you're switching tasks completely, /clear just gives you a totally fresh start. This next feature gives you almost surgical precision over the context. Instead of trying to describe a file or copy-pasting code, you just use the @ symbol followed by the file name. Bam! The agent instantly reads the entire file's content, giving it the exact information it needs right when it needs it. And finally, let's talk about MCPs, or Model Context Protocol. The easiest way to think about these is like plugins or tools that extend what the agent can do. They let Gemini CLI connect to external services, like, say, interacting directly with a GitHub repository, all from right inside your terminal. So we've seen what this thing can do and how to use it effectively. But let's zoom out for a second. What does a tool like this really mean for the future of software development? This whole agent-based approach really represents a fundamental shift. We're moving beyond just simple AI code completion and into a real partnership, where the AI is an active participant in the entire development lifecycle. And that really leaves us with a fascinating question to chew on. When AI agents can plan, build, test, and maybe even deploy full applications, what does our role as developers become? It seems we become less of a manual coder and a lot more of an architect, a guide, and a reviewer. And you know what? That's a pretty exciting future to think about.